Welcome back, Truth Seeker. There's another death in the news from the world of entertainment. This time, the unexplained and unexpected death of a 24-year-old game show contestant. He was the last 5-time champion on Jeopardy, and he died on the 5th of February. And if you've been following the videos we've put out in recent days, there were a lot of people who died on February 5th from the world of entertainment just 2 days before Super Bowl 55. So 5-time champion, dead on the 5th, right before Super Bowl 55. And again, if you missed those videos, go back and check them out. 2 of them were fighters from the world of entertainment. Leon Spinks died on February 5th, who's from Missouri. And also Butch Reed died on February 5th, who's also a fighter from Missouri. And in the case of Leon Spinks, remember, he upset Muhammad Ali, keeping Muhammad Ali on 55 career wins at the time. Then he's dead right before Super Bowl 55, and in Gematria, his name Leon Spinks equals 55. So there's a lot to cover here, but I want to start with the most simple observation. We just covered the death of Alex Trebek, the game show host, at age 80. He died on November 8th from cancer, and from his November 8th death to February 5th, the day that this young man died, was 89 days later. 89 is the 24th prime number, and the young man is dead at 24. So 89 days after Alex Trebek, the 24th prime, dead at 24. And if you're new here, Gematria is very simple. It's the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26. The alphabetic order in reverse. Z is 1 back to A is 26. And then using those 2 orders with the rules numerology. Jeopardy broadcasts from Los Angeles, California, which equals 89 with the alphabetic order and rules numerology. It equals 118 with the reverse alphabetic order and rules numerology. And again, Trebek died on November 8th, 118. So very easy to see how these 2 deaths are connected, both through Jeopardy. Now, they didn't announce this young man's death until just yesterday, February 12th. So they announced it 1 week after his death. They saved it for 1 week. And notice that date can be written 12/2 like 122, Jeopardy's 122, Satanic's 122, National Football League's 122. If you watch my video on Alex Trebek's death, it had everything to do with the football game that was going on that day, which we'll revisit. But again, this young man dead right before Super Bowl 55, and we've covered so many death rituals related to the NFL over the years in connection to this number 122. Keep in mind, Jeopardy also has Gematria 41 like Super Bowl. So, fitting show to be connecting to the Super Bowl ritual. And in light of him dying on 2/5, as we talked about all week, because there were so many entertainer deaths on this day, Tampa Bay's 25, Death is 25, the name Trebek is 25, again, the game show host until his recent passing. Keep in mind, 25 has a square root of 5. And again, this was the 5-time champion, dead on the 5th. As we talked about with Super Bowl 55, it was the Satan Bowl, and that couldn't have been any more clear with The Weeknd being the halftime performer, the man who flashes Satan on the electronic billboards at the stadiums he does his concerts in, and he came down like a fallen angel for the halftime show. Fallen angel equals 55, related to Satan. But if you're new here, these are the 4 base ciphers, and I want you to see how they all matter in this ritual. Again, Super Bowl 55, Satan 55 with the alphabetic order. Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl appearance, Satan 10 with the alphabetic order and rules numerology. Satan 80 with the reverse alphabetic order. Alex Trebek just died at age 80. Brady stayed on 80 career losses in Super Bowl 55, and he came into the game with 80 career postseason touchdowns. And then again, the name Tom Brady equals 35 like Satan. He picked up his 149th career home win in Super Bowl 55. 149 is the 35th prime. And he did that exactly 149 months after his game with Carl Sheffers on the field, where he beat the Chiefs 17-10. That happened to be Carl Sheffers' first ever game as an NFL referee, who was the head referee for Super Bowl 55, as well as Super Bowl 51, which Brady also beat over the Falcons with the 25-point comeback on 2/5, years before he went to Tampa Bay. By the way, Falcons is also 25. But all these values of Satan, so important to the ritual, And then you get the 5-time champion dead on the 5th, 2 days before the game. It's not hard to see. And, some people in the community who've learned to decode, they overlook the most simple observations that are the most convincing, that can easily be explained to people so that they can grasp the knowledge. And they always overlook these things that are so simple to interpret and start connecting it to things that probably aren't even there. So watch out for some of these decoders in the community. They're not doing the work any favors. If you read the story, this young man, he made his first appearance December 15th, and he made his last appearance January 6th. We'll talk about both dates. But from his last appearance January 6th to his death February 5th was 30 days later. Tampa's 30, where the Super Bowl was, and won by the team from Tampa. His surname Smith is also 30. From the December 15th first appearance to his death was a span of 53 days. Remember, that's a big number with football. Vesica Pisces equals 53, which is the shape of the football in sacred geometry, and Alex Trebek died on the day, leaving 53 days left in the year. That's also the 16th prime number, and GOAT equals 16, in light of it being the GOAT Bowl for Brady. He tied Jordan the GOAT in Super Bowl 53, and there were 16 points scored in that game. Then he surpassed him in Super Bowl 55, the Satan Bowl, and of course the satanic symbol is the Baphomet, which is half goat. And don't forget, in astrology, Capricorn is the 10th sign, and it is the goat. Brady's 10th Super Bowl becomes the undisputed GOAT in the scripted league that involves ritual sacrifice every season. So, again, Trebek dead on the day, leaving 53 days left in the year. This man dead a span of 53 days from his first appearance on December 15th. And then the other thing about this young man, Brayden Smith, his name has that 57 gematria, the number always related with sports championships. Again, when you write out 57, it equals 131, like championship, like Super Bowl. 2 years in a row, we really liked a certain NFC championship matchup because of the number 57. This year, it was the Bucs and Packers. They played each other for the 57th time all time, and there ended up being 57 combined points in the game. And then, the year before, the NFC championship was the Niners and the Packers, and there was also 57 points in that game, and it was 57 days from their last meeting in the regular season, and it just goes on and on and on. They'll always bring these numbers together in championships from NFL to MLB. By the way, World Series equals 57, NBA Finals equals 57. They always bring these numbers together in championships, college and pro. So this poor man had the wrong name gematria, for the right week of the ritual sacrifice for the big game. Brayden Smith. And, again, he was from Las Vegas, LV, right before Super Bowl LV. And, we just talked about the death of the singer from the Supremes who also dropped dead in Las Vegas unexpectedly. She was older, but her death was a surprise to people. Again and again, same type of stuff. She had the numbers. Covered that last week. But it says right here about how his 6 episodes were December 15th through the 18th and January 5th through the 6th. From his September 6th birthday to his death, February 5th, was his 153rd day of his age. It was also 5 months dead on the nose, right? 5 months, span of 5 months. But 153 days, that's that big number with the Jesuits, Jesuit Order 153. And, the Jesuit logo is the sun with the Templar cross and the 3 nails that represents Triclavianism, a phrase that equals 93, like crucifix, like God's son, like Nazareth, like how they say the sun's 93 million miles away. And remember, the Catholic Church has their hands on everything. The spiritualities of the world that people believe in, our scientific understanding. Jesuits control the show. They control the sports leagues. They control the politicians. The Jesuits are the New World Order. But anyway, with regards to their logo being the sun, and remember, the Catholic Church gave us the Gregorian calendar that we're on, which is a solar-based calendar, and they gave us the language that's all synced up, and all of this stuff was put together at the end of the 16th century. But the sun has that phrase of 24. And again, this young man's dead at 24. And how many hours are there in a day? Of course, 24 that are dictated by the sun. But again, from Alex Trebek's death, November 8th, to his death, February 5th, 89 days later, the 24th prime number. Trebek dead in L.A., Los Angeles, California, 89, also 118, like how he died on 11/8. And with regards to 89 being the 24th prime, Alex Trebek's real first name is George. Even though he went by Alex Trebek, his name was George. George is 24. This young man's name was Smith, 24. And if you missed my video the day Alex Trebek died, just to revisit some things, the Steelers improved to 8-0 that day. And I'm going to show you why the Steelers matter with this. They won with 24 points on the day that George died. Again, one of the big clues for Brady to win the Super Bowl was through the Steelers, because you have to remember the entire NFL is scripted together. It's all one big script. The teams share profits. It's just one big theater spectacle. But remember, they said Alex Trebek died of cancer on 11/8. Cancer is 118. Homicide and death are 118 as well. Always talk about these numbers with death. George Trebek, his real first and last name is 118. Dead on November 8th. Again, dead in Los Angeles, California, 118, which is the absolute 118 city. Remember, LA's birthday is September 4th, the day leaving 118 days left in the year. It's on the 118th Meridian West. The current mayor is Eric Garcetti, whose name equals 118. And the day of his death at 80, the Steelers improved to 8-0 in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas is also 118. George Alexander Trebek, his full name is 103 and 113, like the Steelers equals 103 and 113. And you might recall the Steelers began 11-0, and then they lost 3 straight games. And we saw it coming because there was a great ritual for Washington to upset on primetime the night they did, which gave the Steelers their first loss, making them 11-1, and realized Ron Rivera was the coach of Washington, and he was the last coach in the NFL to start 11-0. So see how they script it? Mike Tomlin starts 11-0 with the Steelers, then he loses to Ron Rivera, who also started 11-0 before he lost. It's just, again, cycles, circles, the sun, the calendar, rituals and time. But then the next week, the Steelers were playing the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills came into the game 9-3, so it was easy to see they would win and improve to 10-3, like 103 against the Steelers, because Steelers is 103. And then it was easy to see the next week that the Steelers had fallen to 11-2. Of course, they were going to fall to 11-3, because Steelers is 103 and 113. It's why you got to know the ciphers forwards and backwards. But George Alexander Trebek, weeks before this, we were making the same point, how his name had gematria just like the Steelers. They improved to 8-0 the day he died at 80. And from his July 22nd birthday to his death on November 8th, it was 109 days later. Again, dead in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, 109. If you read the article about his career, he was with Jeopardy for 37 years. Los Angeles is also 37. Career began in 84, Jesuit 84, that big Jesuit number. Jesuits run the show. And Jeopardy's also got the 41 gematria, like Super Bowl, like we said in the beginning, but LA's also 41, Dallas is 41, don't forget Kobe Bryant, 41, dead at age 41, don't forget how the Lakers won the championship exactly 41 weeks after LeBron's birthday on Father-Daughter Day in the season that Kobe died, and it was only that way supposedly because of the coronavirus by the numbers. But here's his name with the 103 and 113. Oh, you know what else I could have put up here that I didn't? Dallas also equals 113 since the Steelers were playing in Dallas that day. That's another 113 that should be up there. Dallas is 113. But the Steelers won with 24 points that day. George 24. 43 combined points. Dallas Cowboys 43. Football 43. Florida 43. GOAT 43. The scripted NFL ritual ends with Brady winning the Super Bowl at age 43 in the GOAT Bowl. And it's funny I brought up these numbers about Bavarian Illuminati 188 and 80 because Brady won the Super Bowl 188 days after his birthday. The phrase greatest of all time is also 188. Again, he stayed on the 80 career losses. So, 127 is the 31st prime. Brady won with 31 points. Chiefs is also 31, like how they won Super Bowl 54 with 31 points. But this is what it is, you guys. Murder by numbers, ritual sacrifice. Again, the world of entertainment's a dangerous business. And the one thing that I do wonder about is why none of the families ever reach out to our community putting out this work and showing how this goes down. It just makes me wonder, it's like, are they complicit? Maybe these people aren't really dying. What's really going on here? But, or it could just be that they're all a bunch of coincidence theorists like 95% of humanity. But, again, we have had real people reach out and say, hey, my brother recently died. My dad recently died. Can you look into this? And if you guys don't listen to TFR, we've taken a number of calls like that over the years. Last one was a woman maybe 3 or 4 months back, and she was saying her dad was in the military and suffered a real suspicious death. And she said he died at 62, which is a sacrifice number. And while she was talking, I said, I don't mean to interrupt, but was your father in the Navy? And she said, yeah, how'd you know that? And I said, well, I've covered a lot of Navy deaths over the years that are suspicious with 62 because Navy's 62. So, again, you guys, this stuff really does go on, and it does seem that it extends beyond the world of celebrity. And it seems like if you work in the world of government, it can also be consequential. So, police officers, military people, maybe the honest ones, they get 86'd by the code. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hop over to my other channel, Voices of Humanity with Zachary K. Hubbard, and I'm going to talk about the death of comedian Mike Epps' father, a black comedian, on the 42nd day of the year. I noticed that he was in the film Open Season, and his dad happened to die the same day that Anthony Fauci said it'll be open season for vaccines in April. And, of course, open season equals 42 like vaccine. So go over on that channel and put another video out over there. I got to build up that channel because I might even end up converting that channel into GematriaEffectNews 21. Again, my main channel, GematriaEffectNews, has 2 strikes on it right now. And I'm starting to think it might be on its way to being deleted because it's actually been amazing that they allowed it to last that long. That's the longest I've kept up a channel since 2017 when they started deleting my channel. First channel was deleted June 28, 2017, and they've just been deleting channels left and right ever since then. So, RIP to these people, and maybe I'll see you over on the other channel. Oh, and for all you sports enthusiasts, going to do a futures decode. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Daytona 500. Going to talk about what I think the Super Bowl matchup is for next year and a few other futures, including the March Madness tournament. Going to do that on Gematria, or do that on my Patreon page, patreon.com/Zachary K. Hubbard. Easy way to get there is just go to my website, GematriaEffect.news. Click the Patreon link. And if you're not familiar with Patreon, their website always loads slow. So it's like the slowest loading website on the internet, which is annoying. And I don't know why it is, but it does work. It's just be patient. It'll remind you of the days of dial-up modem. But once it loads, then everything works fine. But always that first load just taking way too long. So it's the only downside about Patreon. But we'll be doing the live stream there today and get some more futures in. I think we got some winners. So we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. And